am I in your way? Cause you walked out so fast yesterday. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. So tell me what you want, tell me how you want it. Tell me all the reasons that you're running away. I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, no, no. I just wanna be...
Okay, so it's pretty much done upstairs in the bathroom where I feel like I can walk away from it. A couple little things that need to be done, but let's move on. Sarah wanted to relive the idea of in-floor heat for the bathroom upstairs. She came here the other day with the kids and tested it where she, took her socks off, took her shoes off, obviously, got on the granite floor upstairs, and she said it was pretty cold. We had the idea of putting in-floor heat underneath those spaces, and you use the metal fins. You put the fins up, you attach it to the floor, and then you insulate, I was kind of getting away from the idea because it seemed pretty involved and it seemed kind of expensive. But I think we're gonna revisit the idea because it just seems now is the time to do it. But of course, this now leads me to what am I doing? What am I doing next? Before I can do the ceiling, I have to do the in-floor heat. And I don't have the materials to do that. But what I do have the materials for, this is why it's so nice to buy some stuff in advance. This was a lot of expense for me. And I bought them probably 6 months ago. I have all of my, what are these called? Arc fault breakers for the breaker box downstairs. I've got, 5 or 6 of these. I've got all of my, I went and I bought the industrial strength outlets. And I've got all my switches. I've got like industrial strength switches. So I think that's what I've decided to do today, is I am going to go around and do all my wiring. Wiring is something that I really like to take my time on because I like to know that before I close up that box that the wires are secure and safe and correct. And I'm not very versed in it, so I go kind of slow. Before I can really start the wiring, I have to take the time to clean a little bit because I have not cleaned the downstairs in what seems to be a year. No guarantees, but I think I have one of my circuits done. So I should be able to go downstairs. I have to get a 15 amp breaker, and I think I can just hook that up, and once I put power to it, I should have plugs, outlets in this whole room, and my lights in this room, and the stairway lights will finally work too, as long as everything is correct. And if it's not, then I will pause the video, fix it, say all this again to make it look like I got it my first try. When in fact, this could be my 5th try. It could be a whole nother day. And I actually went home mad and then came back or it's my first try. I'll leave it all up to you to decide. I gotta go find my screwdriver. Looks like all I need is a Phillips. It's been a little bit longer than just going downstairs. Now, excitement. The lights are working. All of my outlets are working. But when I tie in the stairway, right here, it stops working. And I don't really know why. I've really narrowed it down. The switch, the three-way switch at the bottom and the top seem correct according to this diagram. So the only place where I feel like it could be going wrong is in my lights upstairs, which maybe I don't even have those wired. That was a long time ago. The light that I think is wrong is that one right there. Let's just see. I have power upstairs now to this one light. That light's not coming on. I find that odd. That light looks wired and it looks correct. I can't really test it any other way. Okay, so now the light's hooked back up the way it was, just hanging there, but it's hooked up and it's working now. That makes 0 sense. I literally just took it apart and then put it back together. Huh. Okay, should work. It doesn't. Unbelievable, and it threw the breaker. What is going on with that? Oh, anger. What it basically comes down to is there's something wrong. There's something wrong with this light, but I know that it works, so it's probably a connection somewhere in there. I don't know. You don't notice anything different? It's what?
It's cleaned up.
It's cleaned up, yeah, but don't you notice,
Lights. The lights will fix.
And then, look at this one. I had such good luck yesterday. I think I'm just going to continue to do the wiring. The vanity light seems low. See this? I think it's at, I don't know. I don't know what it's at, to be honest with you, but I just know I remember looking on the internet to what it should be, and that's what I put it at, but it just seems low. So I think what I'm going to do is rerun a new wire. It's a very short wire, but just rerun a new wire and change this box placement. Got this all working now. It's a three-way switch. I kind of want to switch these opposite of what they are because I think the one for the closet should be on the left. I'm gonna probably switch that. It's working. The other three-way switch is over here. It's nice to have lights finally. Yeah, I gotta switch that. That just makes sense, doesn't it? That when you walk through the closet hallway area, that you can flip this. Yeah, that drives me insane. Yeah, that just makes sense. That's so much better because now you're like, oh, and then you want to shut it off and it's just the one closest. Rocking and rolling. I'm on my last circuit. Oh man, I'm gonna have porch lights soon. What? That's just exciting. This big living room, every other outlet is on a different line. Seems like a good idea. It's kind of confusing me right now, but I'm just going to take my time. I say that for everything. And follow which is what. And I'm going to do them. I'm going to do one line at the same time and then skip the other one. That way I know that I won't get confused. Power source is right here. And I'm going to source this power to both of these switches. I tell you, there's not much better feeling when you're doing renovation or construction as lights that work. And not only that means you wired it correctly, but just the feeling of that progress. You ran all those wires and you hooked up all those lights and now it's wired and you have power. It's great. I don't have to deal with extension cords much longer. 10, 11, 12 outlets to wire. And then I need to do my porch switch. And I will be done with wiring. I had my fair share of mistakes. Nothing that got me electrocuted or even shocked. And now I'm going to walk around and I think quickly explain, I guess, the lighting situation and maybe why we chose to go the way that we did. I don't have a switch for this right now, so I just have it wired, but that switch right there runs the outside lights and the light right in front of the door. I like the idea that if we have the porch lights on, that this one light is on. I do plan on putting a different bulb in this fixture here, like a 20-watt bulb, something not very bright. Just think it's kind of nice that if you have the porch light on that you can see the door really well. When you first walk into the door, you have two switches here. One runs the outside of the main living room, and one runs the main light. That main light could also be a fan if we choose to put a fan there. On top of switches being over there, I have three-way switches over here that do the same thing. We don't really plan on using that door where you are right now very often. That's not going to be the main door for the house. But it is nice that if you leave that door, you can shut these lights off from over there. This right here will be the main walkway from the kitchen to the rest of the house. So it's important that we have light switches here. We have outlets. I put double outlet boxes every now and then, especially over here where I think the TV will end up. I put doubles, and then I put one up here for the TV if we end up doing a wall unit. If not, I can always cover that with a piece of art. And say you wanted to walk to the bathroom. I've got a switch here that turn on this hall light. Now I wired the hall light with the closet light, and I did that on purpose. For one, I didn't want to put a switch for each closet. There's really nowhere to put the switches. I'm going to have basically just doors and molding. There's no room for switches anywhere on that wall. So I needed to do something like this anyways, but I like that because if we see that this light right here is on, then we know the closet lights are on. I think that makes sense. I just don't know if I made sense saying it. Walking down the hallway, this is a three-way switch, and this one right here runs the hallway and the lights in the closet. That's just if somehow, if you're walking from the kitchen through here, and then you're going to go out the front door over there, you can just shut the lights off here versus having to backtrack. And then the other three-way switch here turns on the lights for this little living room. The other switch for that is over here. Another thing I did was I wired up the three-way switch for the stairway. That just turns on 2 lights and the stairway light. The other switch is obviously at the top of the stairs. I put a double outlet box over there, thinking maybe that could end up being like a computer desk area, so I just put an extra one. Quite a few recessed lights, and again, a main light. The power comes up from down cellar and goes to this outlet first, and then it goes over to the bathroom. And then I have a GCFI breaker right there, and that protects everything in the bathroom. But yeah, so the vanity is run by this switch, and then the main light is run. I'm leaving right now.
I just want to make sure you didn't electrocute yourself.
I did not electrocute myself. That's going to do it for me this week. Remember to like and share the video if you enjoyed it. And I guess I'll just see you all next time I turn the camera on. Thanks for watching. Have a good week, everybody.